Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video from the Elevation community, and through their song, The Blessing, we talked about the gift that song has been to the world, particularly in the 2020 year. So I trust you found that one an encouragement. Well, we're going to an absolute icon of the music industry today. It does not get much bigger than this guy today. Of course, his life started as Reginald Kenneth Dwight in 1947, where he was born in Middlesex. And certainly as a child, he was showing tremendous promise as a prodigy on the piano and a singer. And certainly in his teenage years, he had already started to forge a bit of career. He went against what his family wanted to do and thought, no, I want to do music. And of course, I love music and I just want to do music as my career. And of course, here we're talking about Elton John. Now, of course, when you talk about Elton John, you've got to put Sir in front of that, Sir Elton John. This is how important this guy has been in music and also in the world in general. Of course, he's been doing this for a long time. Between 1969 and 2021, there has been 31 studio albums. There's over 310/20 songs right there. 5 live albums, 22 compilation albums, which you'd expect for a guy who's been around for as long as Elton John has. 4 EPs, 9 soundtracks, and we'll get on one of those soundtracks in a minute. 3 tribute albums. It's estimated he has sold 300 million albums. This guy is up there as one of the highest of all time. To give you a bit of context, the Beatles have sold 600 million. Elton sold 300 million. In fact, he's had 50 top 40 UK US hits. He's had 7 consecutive #1 albums, and he is the top solo artist, selling artist in the US. And he's the 3rd overall, and he's considered the top adult contemporary best-selling artist as well in all of these lists that go around. Of course, Elton John is more than just a singer and a composer. Of course, he and his mate Bernie Taupin are an indelible and inseparable partnership that have been writing all of these songs of all of these years. So whenever we think about Elton John, we've always got to remember Bernie Taupin in here as well as a significant part of the Elton John story and very much part of his success. So whenever when I talk about Elton John, I'm really talking about Bernie Taupin as well here at the same time. Now, we all know how good Elton John goes beyond just as a singer and a piano player. He is an entertainer, and when he gets on stage, he has to give his audience the best time he can. He's got so many incredible songs to choose from that, you know, as well as the songs just being ones that everybody knows, he also has a beautiful way of delivering these songs, and he's not scared to try the different costumes from time to time and to really just ham it up a bit. But certainly it all comes down to how talented this guy is, both singing, songwriting, and on the piano. He is a genius. There's no other way to say it, really. He is a genius and seamless in what he does. And if you think about the fact that musicians these days, they've got to remember their songs when they play them. Like, there's no sheet music up on their stand in front of him. Geez, I'd love to be able to do that. But he remembers all of his songs. Now, the thing is, he just doesn't write normal 4-chord songs. His songs, this musical prowess and songwriting prowess goes beyond that to all sorts of bits and pieces. And we've also got to give credence to Elton John's band, who some of them have been with him for a long time. The lead guitarist in particular, the drummer, they have been with him a long time, and you've got to have good people on stage to be able to carry off Elton John's song. Of course, Elton's is very much into all sorts of genres, jazz, rhythm and blues, pop, rock, and almost progressive in some instances as well. He can go from the really quiet ballad to the iconic numbers to fast numbers. He writes across all sorts of genres. So Elton John isn't in a genre. Elton John is a genre. Now, because this guy's so significant, we're going to give him a couple of videos. Today, as I've already done, we've looked at a little bit just his music and his career a little bit. Next time, I'm going to look at the significance he has been in the world, because Elton John is a very significant presence in the world, and the world has acknowledged him for that reason. Now, I was trying to think about, might as well talk about the clips now. They're all in the description below, and I think I've gone for a quiet, medium, and fast, and then iconic category for Elton John to say today, because as I've said, he has covered all manner of speed in his songs. So I thought what I'll do, I'll just go through the song first, and then we'll talk just a little bit about about the iconic song I'm talking about today. So we'll start slow, and we've got the song Tonight. This came off the album Blue Move from 1976. Now, this is come from a concert where Elton John played with the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra in Australia, in Sydney. And it was one of the first times that he had played with an orchestra on stage. And so it was a pretty iconic concert, that one. And there's no expense was spared for the production of this particular concert. Now, Tonight is a beautiful song. It's all about, late at night fighting and why can't we go to sleep and why can't we just get on with each other? That's that kind of deal about it. But the reason I've got this song in there is to just show off how good his piano playing is here. To play with an orchestra to start with is extremely difficult, and you've just got to be able to practice and get it just right, really. There's a lot of effort going on behind the scenes of this song. Elton plays quite a bit of piano in this song, and you can see just how beautiful his touch is, how beautiful his songwriting ability is, and when he starts singing, it's just an all-round, all-encompassing experience. And then when you add the orchestra in there and all the rest of it, it's a work of art. This is beyond a song. This is a work of art right here. And the song, as beautiful as this one, it needs everybody on stage doing what they're doing. And so Tonight is there, very much Elton John in his quieter phase, even though this song's quite iconic and quite epic in lots of ways. Very much a quieter version for Elton John. Then I thought, well, for the medium song, let's go for Circle of Life. This was written in 1994 for the iconic movie The Lion King. And this particular performance is from the Disneyland 60th anniversary. How good and how sort of right is it for them to get Elton John to sing this iconic song live at Disneyland? Now, of course, there's been a couple of versions of Circle of Life. Elton John's version was pretty straight sort of thing, and then the musical version had the African chanting happening in it, particularly at the start. What they've done in this particular version is they brought those two versions together into an absolutely incredible performance. You can see at the end of this particular clip that Elton John is absolutely ecstatic at how well this performance has gone. I think for him was quite an important performance, and I think a song for him that has meant quite a lot. And the words are quite simple: only take what you need. If you think about the Lion King story and Simba, and you're learning all what it means to be king, let's not be an overburdening king. We need to be a king that is fair and kind and just and considers the whole kingdom and not just themselves. So we've got Circle of Life, an incredible song by Elton John, quite an iconic song of his. And then we go Fast. And I thought, well, when we think about fast songs, one of the songs you tend to think about with Elton John with Fast is Crocodile Rock. And he and Susie had so much fun, and then Susie met another guy and went off and all the rest of it. But we did this thing called the Crocodile Rock. This came off the Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player album from 1972. So this is going back a little way in his career. And the thing I love about Elton John is his ability to be able to change genres and to shake it up a lot, to write iconic such songs such as Tonight, and then to come out and rock it out like Crocodile Rock. And of course, the concept of being able to put a chant in your song that everybody can go along with. Ah, na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na. Yeah, that bit, you know, you get it. Of course, Queen did that as well with that as well. You know, all we hear is Radio Gaga. The Queens were the masters of giving the audience a bit to do from their own. Well, Elton John certainly did that in Crocodile Rock. And so here we go again, how incredible this guy's piano playing he is, because, you know, he's across all sorts of genres. He can play whatever he needs to play. And again, remembering everything he actually plays as well is quite amazing. This is a concert from Madison Square Garden, so, you know, it doesn't get much bigger than that, really. Madison Square Garden is just one of the venues in the world that people want to play at. Sometimes if you're really, really good, you may get a couple of sellout shows. I'm sure Elton John's had quite a few sellout shows all over the world. Wembley Stadium would be one, of course. Madison Square Garden would be another. And so, you know, again, the thing to think about Elton John, particularly in this song, is the range that he's got. You know, his range is quite large, and therefore he can sing anything and everything. He has a naturally, I suppose, slightly baritone, but his range can actually get up there quite a bit as well. But of course, when you think about Elton John, there are many songs you think of, but this is probably one that you tend to go to. And this is very much in the iconic category today, and that is the song Your Song. This came off the Elton John album from 1970. I think it might have been his second album, this one. And as he introduces in the clip, this is the first hit he and Bernie Taupin ever had. In fact, if you watch the movie Rocket Man, which is obviously a tribute to Elton John, you get to see how this song was written, because it's such an iconic song in the world of music in general, and that's just without Elton John. And of course, the beautiful thing about Your Song is he talks about the fact that, you know, I may not have much to give you. I buy a big house if I had lots of money and all the rest of it. But actually what he says, no, I'm giving you something more than that. And that is your song. You can tell everybody this is your song, because it's come from the heart. It's come from a place of creativity. It's come from a place of absolute genius in poetry. It's come from a place of, I just want the best for you I possibly can. And for me to do that for you, it needs to be a song. And so every time people hear this song, if I get a bit teary listening to this one myself, you'd think the song has been written just for you. And this is the art, this is the magic of Elton John. When you're in his audience, you feel like he's just playing just to you, because he has that way about him. He gets through our defences, and he gets right to our very, very hearts, and people, the world has been resonating with him all the way from 1969. So, of course, we've got Your Song. Now, in this particular clip, he introduces the song by saying, first of all, it was a massive hit for him. And secondly, he talks about Gus Dudgeon and his wife, who were instrumental in his earlier career, and the way that they produced and edited. And this song catapulted Elton John into superstardom. And if it wasn't for Gus Dudgeon, it wouldn't have gone quite as well. And so Elton John pays credence to him. Now, this is a live performance from the Royal Opera House. So again, we've got Sydney Opera House, we've got Disneyland, we've got Madison Square Garden, and we've got the Royal Opera House. So, 4 iconic venues. What can we say? Elton John has been a master and commanded every single one of these venues all throughout the world. That is what makes him a legend in the industry. So I think the takeaway just a bit from Elton John today, and that is this: he hasn't been scared to be himself. Now, if we all know Elton John, he's a flamboyant, exuberant character. He's a guy that has endeared himself to millions if he had not chosen to be himself, and at times to struggle with what himself actually meant. I think it's a classic case of, oh man, I'm really famous, but What's that got to do with me? I mean, and so he has spent some quite a little bit of his life evaluating who he is as a person. Who is this Elton John? I need to unpack and work out who he is. And I think Elton John hasn't been scared to go down that track and to answer those sort of questions because he needed to. And I think because of that, we've even got a more rounded performer even now, all these years down the track. Because you think about 69 to 21, that's 52 years right there. You know, there's almost an album every second year. That's pretty amazing. Plus all the performing he does and everything else. Of course, Elton John is a true musician because he actually does perform his stuff live on stage. In any song, pretty much he will do. So let's be ourselves, guys. This is the challenge of Elton John today. Now, I've already talked about the links to the 4 songs I've talked about are in the description below. We've got Slow Tonight, Medium Circle of Life, Fast Crocodile Rock, and Iconic, Your Song. So they're all in the description below for you. Well, if you've come back for another one when we've started this mini-series on Elton John, thank you for doing so. Or if you've come back, fantastic. Everyone's very, very welcome to this channel. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to continue on. We're going to finish off the Elton John series. We're going to look a little bit more about his accolades he's received and what makes him so iconic in this world. And then, yes, there'll be 4 more songs tomorrow: slow, medium, fast, and iconic. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.